Power, comfort and elegance. The Piper Saratoga takes you further effortlessly. 6 seats, 300 horsepower, and the freedom to go anywhere. See a dealer to buy yours today.
July 16th, 1999. A plane disappears over the Atlantic. 3 lives are tragically lost. The media calls it pilot error, but something just doesn't quite sit right about the story. The details, they don't fit. The missing radio calls, the erratic flight path, the strange weather reports, and of course, the aircraft itself, a Piper Saratoga. The Piper Saratoga is a sleek single-engine high-performance aircraft. It's a favorite among private pilots for its balance of speed and stability, but even a well-designed machine is only as safe as the one flying it, and in the case of JFK Jr., this aircraft may have been too much to handle on that night, along with spatial disorientation. The call sign registered to this aircraft was November 9253 November. This particular Saratoga was relatively new, manufactured in 1995. It was a 6-seater with 300 horsepower, capable of cruising at 175 knots. Although it was a very powerful plane, it was also very forgiving, unless, of course, something goes wrong. Something about this story just has a bit of a supernatural tone to it. Normally I wouldn't break script like this, but I will say something interesting. During my filming of the B-roll footage using Microsoft Flight Simulator in 2020, for some reason, while mimicking this exact path, the airplane experienced a interesting glitch seen in this segment here. It was almost as if we were frozen in time, but the aircraft was forcibly pitched down. When I attempted to level out, nothing would happen. The engine was still going, but we were just kind of stuck in space. The first theory that we hear is spatial disorientation. This is a theory that I personally agree with. Pilots train for it, some survive it. Unfortunately, many don't. It's an invisible killer that lurks in the darkness, waiting for a single moment of hesitation. And on the night of July 16, 1999, it may have claimed the life of JFK Jr. So in order to understand spatial disorientation, let's talk a little bit about it. It occurs when a pilot loses their sense of balance and orientation due to lack of external visual reference, like a horizon, city, lights, or even on the ground. The inner ear is responsible for balance. Unfortunately, when flying in these conditions, it starts to play tricks on you. The body tells you one thing, the instruments will tell you something else. And if you trust your instincts instead of the gauges, you won't know you're in danger until, well, it's too late.
You know, if you were to follow a busy doctor as he makes his daily round of calls, you'd find yourself having a mighty busy time keeping up with him.
In the case of our story, the Saratoga was flying over open water at night, no visible horizon, and a hazy atmosphere. No moonlight, a perfect storm for disorientation, and JFK Jr., though a licensed pilot, was not fully trained for instrument-only flight. In other words, if he lost sight of the horizon, he could have entered what's known as graveyard spiral, a fatal, unnoticed descent into the ocean, into the abyss. So here's the official theory. The pilot, being JFK Jr., mistakenly banks the plane slightly. Without a visual reference, he doesn't realize that they're turning. His body adjusts, making it feel like they're still flying level. The plane begins a slow, unnoticed spiral downward. To correct it, he pulled back on the controls, but that only tightens the turn, accelerating the descent. By the time the instruments reveal the danger, it's already too late. The next theory is in reference to the actual crash photo itself. Unfortunately, due to YouTube regulations, I'm not allowed to show you guys that. Now, if you do decide to go Google search it on your own, please understand that viewer discretion is advised, and I totally don't recommend it. With that said, let's talk about that theory. The fuselage was mostly intact. The wings were still attached. If it were a high-speed spiraling crash in the ocean, wouldn't the wreckage be more catastrophic? This is a question that several people are wondering. And then there's the matter of a missing distress call. Even if the final seconds were fairly quick, there was silence. Now, my personal opinion is this may have happened so quickly, and with the panic inside of the cabin, JFK Jr. may have been focusing all of his mental skill on controlling the aircraft. I can go on and on and on about the different stories and theories people have about this crash, but I'd like to end the video here. Before I end the video, I want to take the time to honor the victims, the legacy that they had, the lives that they lived. the people that they inspired. John F. Kennedy Jr., the pilot. Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, John F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife. Lauren Bessette, Carolyn Bessette's older sister. And may they all rest in eternal peace. Thanks everyone for taking the time to watch my first video here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions or any stories you'd like me to cover, please feel free to share it in the comment section. And also, please don't forget to like and subscribe.